This just hit me that 911 comes out today. It's midnight on March 6th. What the fuck? I don't know how long it's been. I don't really want to check. Someone said it's been 6 months, and I was like, first I was like, yeah. And then I thought about it, and I was like, that is not right. Want to know how that's not, I know that's not right? Jasper and I have been together for 6 months as of February 25th. So, we got together in August. Season 8 hasn't even been out that long, so it hasn't been 6 months. I think it's been more like 3. Maybe 4? I don't know. I don't know when the last one came out. Probably beginning of November. Yeah, so that's like 4 months. And I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to think. I'm losing my mind a little bit because what? Also, my 911 reaction series has been like on a hiatus. It's been like very sporadic, and then it was consistent for a while, and now it's on hiatus again. I have 2 up on Patreon for early access if you want to go watch it, but I could just like unprivate them. Maybe I will. Maybe I will for one of them later today. Yeah, maybe I will. Editing. Also, the reaction I'm editing right now is the Lone Star 911 crossover, so that'll be fun when it comes out. But anyway, I've also been doing my Supernatural reaction, and now I got the Destiel bug again, and it's a fun time because I'm on episode 6. I just watched episode 6. I really just want to get to Castiel, but I can't yet. Anyway, with that aside, I don't even know what to do about all of this. Like, I'm trying not to get too excited. I'm trying, because like when season 8, because as you guys know, I started watching it right when the season 7 was like about to end. So like, I'm new to all this. I'm new to the fandom. I'm new to all this. So getting into season 8, you had to learn, don't really pay attention to what everyone is saying about the episode, what journalists are saying about it, because then I probably get have really high expectations, and then I watch it and I'm like, oh, okay. Sick. So I'm trying not to have too high of expectations, and I'm trying not to be too excited, but I'm excited, you know? And it's like, I've seen people talk about, like, journalists are kind of basically, they're just, like, giving us a lot of hints that Buddy might actually be canon, might go canon in this season. And, I don't know what to do with that, because that's fucking insane. Because, honest to God, if Buddy goes canon, I think that'll be the closest we'll get to November 5th, 2020 than we have since. Like, you know, it's like, it'll be Buck Bothered and Bewildered airing times like 10, I imagine. The explosion in popularity in the show was fucking insane when it happened. Now that if it goes canon, people are gonna lose their fucking minds. Also, like, I've talked about how, you know, Destiel and Buddy are very different situations, okay? As much as there is a very similar, like, overlap, as much as there are similarities to Buck and Eddie in terms of their characters, and there's a lot of similarities with, like, certain themes in the show, it's not Destiel, and I'm not saying that as in, like, Destiel is this amazing. No. Destiel is a cultural phenomenon because of its queer baiting for 12 years. That's fucking insane and unheard of. And it's in a show where there weren't really queer characters that were reoccurring until season 7. And even then, not really, because she appeared a couple times and then died in season 10. There were queer characters here and there. Was not a queer main character that didn't die after a couple appearances, compared to 911 that has had queer main characters since the beginning. However, having a character that people have been saying for 7 years, essentially, be like, he's a bisexual, be canonically confirmed as bisexual, that is huge. That's fucking huge. And I personally have never watched a show where that has happened. I've never been a part of a fandom where that's happened. And that's why it was so big. And Buddy going canon after 7 years of people being like, they have a lot of chemistry. They have a lot of queer coding. This feels like queer baiting. Oh my God, when are they going to get together? That would be fucking insane. Absolutely insane. And like I said, me personally, unheard of. I've seen people say, like, oh, we're going to have, like, the first long-term queer slow burn, and it's like, not quite, because Bubbling has us beat on that, okay? 10 seasons of slow burn for Bubbling. If Buck and Eddie go canon now, Bubbling technically has them beat on the slow burn. And there are other shows where there's really good queer slow burn. She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, oh my god, my beloved. Catradora, such phenomenal slow burn, and I love them so dearly. But the thing is those ones, I don't know about Adventure Time, but I know that She-Ra, it was planned. A lot of times that there is a queer slow burn, it is planned from the very beginning, and we know for a fact that Buddy was not planned. So no, it would be fucking huge. It would be fucking huge, and they would be a cultural phenomenon. I think that 911 kind of is a cultural phenomenon this in its own way, especially because of the whole Buy Buck thing. I've never personally been a part of a show or fandom for a media where after all these years a character was confirmed queer. I think the closest that comes to that experience was when Nico D'Angelo was confirmed queer. For me personally, in terms of the media I've consumed where I've seen that happen, Nico D'Angelo being confirmed gay is the closest I would have to that. Because with Buck being queer, we know, again, that wasn't planned. And that was more likely a result of how them reacting to the audience's response to Buck and Eddie's relationship. And I'm not saying that they can't have, like, an original thought and think about this on their own, but come on. 7 years. 7 years. And at least 6 of them, people have been like, that's not a straight man. So, I don't know if I should think it's gonna go canon. I don't. Whatever the journalists have to say, I try not to, really look into, because what they have had to say in the past, and then I watched the episode, and I'm like, I don't see what they're even talking about. What? And that's okay. Again, that's kind of their job, is to hype up the show, right? But yeah, I've never been a part of a fandom for a media where something like this feels like a genuine, real possibility of the show actually doing it. Okay, I've been delusional and been like, okay, but Dusty Canon. What if? And then Cass confessed and he went to Super Hell and everyone was confused. It was like we were, tentatively optimistic that something was going to happen, and then that happened and everyone was like, it, makes sense, but if, this seems like something you would do, but it didn't seem like you were going to do it after everything you just did for the last season and what? So that's what I feel like I need to prepare myself for, is that. But even with that, 911 is very different with how they're handling Buck and Eddie and Buddy and queer relationships in general and characters. It feels like a genuine possibility. And the fact that we have Buy Buck, it feels like that's just what's gonna happen. That's just inevitable. And I don't know what to do with that. I think that this happening now, too, would be such a huge win for queer people right now. With everything kind of happening for queer people, especially with everything kind of going on in the States, it's a really scary time for queer people, and it's not going to fix anything, mind you. This going canon, it's not going to fix anything, but it will mean a lot. It will be a big win in terms of, queer representation in media. And you know what? A win is a win. And again, it's not going to fix things, but it is still a good thing. And it will also, I just imagine the explosion in popularity it will have as a result of Buddy going canon, similarly to when Buck went canon. And it's just going to be used as an example of people being like, yeah, actually, making these characters queer and these queer ships canon, is actually not going to make a lot of people leave and use money and viewership. It will probably actually do the opposite and is actually a good thing. And it may actually be a better strategy than queer baiting. So just intentionally do queer slow burns. Happy 911 return day. Happy potential we might have Buddy Cannon sometime in the next few weeks. Also, Chris is supposed to be back in like 2 weeks.